Hello friends, Techman Pat here. Today we are reviewing the Edifier shelf speakers or bookshelf speakers, the r1280DBs. These guys are damn impressive. I have owned a few bookshelf speakers in my time, and these guys, for the price that they are, $160, $170, $150, depending where you go. I'll put a link below on Amazon where you can buy them. Man, I am incredibly impressed. Big thanks to Edifier for sending me these for review. Let's get started by rolling the intro. So yes, I started the video with some positivity about this because yes, they are fantastic. The drivers, the tweeters, and the sub in them sound pretty darn good. But I am going to talk about the negatives, but let's talk about the features that make this a little bit more unique and actually very budget friendly and very good. First of all, the build quality is fantastic. You can get nice brown wooden style, but these are black and they look very stylish. Very nice wood, very high quality, making the sound inside very solid, and whatever escapes is only through the ways it is actually supposed to escape. That sound, you know, with the air. And of course, we've got a little cover on the front, as you do. But you know what? I used to prefer the look of this, but then I realized, you know, it gets dusty and it just looks a lot cleaner when you have the cover on like this. The covers themselves, and I want to point these out because this is what makes it a little bit more unique than other cheap bookshelf speakers. And that is when you push these bits inside, they don't click and they don't do anything specific. They're actually rounded off in a way that makes them push and then tighten as you push in, and hence there's no wobble, there's no vibration, and they just sit in really nicely and they're solid in it. I want to point that out. Speaking of solid and no vibration, the bottom of this has nice, very thick, rubbery-like material feet that does not pass any vibration into the table. Now my table is wooden and I'm using them as front-firing speakers for my computer, music, gaming. The other thing that these do have is a lot of actual accessories. First of all, Bluetooth 5.0. Thank God there are now speakers that have that, because gosh darn it, sometimes it's a bit hard to connect your phone, play some music, because most of the time the app that is on your phone has all your playlists, and logging into Spotify on your computer might be a little bit frustrating, especially if you're playing music and you're at a party in your own house, I suppose, and you want to play it. But nonetheless, you can connect this via Bluetooth to a TV, to a computer, to maybe a mobile device, or maybe a console. It all works really, really well. 5.0 means that there is literally no delay in regards to what happens on the screen when it comes to this. So movies don't have a delay, it works perfectly fine. And of course, gaming, you can hear all the gunshots when you're playing on a console. Now, the other thing that it has is optical sound in, and that to me is actually my favorite feature, because the first time I'm fully utilizing my computer's optical out and the optical in. What does that mean? Damn, the sound is fantastic. It is a little bit higher quality, but you know what? Audiophiles will say that it doesn't really matter. All I can say is that it's really easy to connect. It's one cable and it's really light, and that's it. It's just really easy to connect. I wouldn't say that the quality is any better than cables, but it's there and it's available. If your computer supports it, if your TV supports it, why not use that? Because, you know, you can't connect an HDMI to this. It does also have coaxial in, and it also have a sub out, which is really important to my negative points in a second. It has the classic red and white connection at the back, pure copper, and obviously the left and the right contains buttons to control some of the features. There is also a remote to control everything, but there is no screen to tell you what's actually happening and what it is connected to. Nonetheless, the remote makes it really easy, and it's a really nice light remote, but it is also an extra remote if you've already got a TV and so on. But these guys will stay on and it'll just kind of be in the background. As soon as you turn on the TV, they'll go online and it's pretty bloody fine. Yes, you can control the sound from your actual TV or from the computer, so you can leave this on maybe 80%, and then when you lower and put the volume up and down on your TV, just like any other speaker. So the quality of the driver is pretty darn good. Each of these have 21 watts of power, left and right, and they have a little bit of a sub. Now this is where we get into the negatives. The sub in this is pretty average, like it's pretty darn bad. It's just that everything else about it makes up for the lack of that bass. But I would say that it's there enough, but you just won't be playing things like dubstep on this. The sound of these is fantastic. The lows, the mids, and the highs but it just doesn't have that punch that a separate subwoofer would have. But the beauty is that it does have a sub out plug. Hence, you can plug in a sub into these and it'll control it all from this here. So if you have an active sub already, you can actually utilize this and it'll be controlled from the one system. The powered sub that I have, in fact, is a Logitech Z305, whatever the brand is, and I was able to hook up that active sub into these and voila, it was absolutely perfect. So I get to utilize some old speakers. Basically, they replace the front firing speakers. And pending that, what is the sound difference? Well, man, it's good. I've listened to some specific songs through these speakers and they sound fantastic. It's hard to share that with you and say, well, here's a microphone, because then it depends on the quality of the microphone. Here's the sound, depending on the song, and so on. But overall, I've been listening to hardcore rock, I've been listening to some techno and dubstep, and then light hip hop, and some classic hits that you know what they sound like on every speaker because you've probably heard it a multitude of times. I have been using these straight for 3 weeks, and I have loved absolutely every moment of it. Instead of turning on some other speaker, I've been using these. I've actually moved them around the house a few times to the TV and back because I wanted to have them on my computer. I've been playing Doom, so in the gaming foray, yes, they sound brilliant. Doom has a fantastic soundtrack and it sounds brilliant, but it sounds better with that sub. Now, Edifier does have a separate sub you can purchase, but then that blows up the price significantly. Compared to these, I would say that if you have a small TV setup, then these are perfect. If you have a medium TV setup, even better, especially if you're using built-in TV speakers, these will be absolutely fantastic. So in summary, for $149, you're gonna get some very extremely powerful speakers that do not peak and distort sound. They sound really good on the highs and the lows, pending that of the power of an external subwoofer, but they sound fantastic for $150. That Bluetooth makes this a much better offer in regards to the value that you get, and optical in is by far my favorite way to connect. Now, at $149, there are other brands, and I'm going to be checking out those and then comparing it to this. But if I compare these to the Logitech speakers that I have here, my TV speakers and my soundbar, every time I would choose these and then just add on that subwoofer. So friends, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like this video if you did. Let me know what you think of these Edifier speakers. If there are other brands you want me to check out, please put them in the comments below. Thank you very much for Edifier for sending me these for review. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye!